Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. We are WordPress St. Petersburg. You are here for our Ask Us Anything Crowdsourcing WordPress Support Workshop. My name is Jim True. I am the lead organizer for WordPress St. Petersburg. Below me, you will see Travis Lopes. Say hi.
Say hi.
Jennifer Novak. Say hi, Jen.
Hello.
And Elaine Simmons. Say hi.
Hello.
Thank you. All right. So tonight you are here for our WordPress, our Ask Us Anything. We meet monthly, the first Tuesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. online only through 2021 and probably through most of 2022 as well, as we just lost our in-person location that we could have met at. Our meetup is meetup.com, WordPress St. Petersburg. Our website is wptampabay.org. On our website, the very first thing on the page, you'll see all of our primary communication channels. We have a Facebook group, we have a Slack chat, and we have, of course, all of our meetups. We are a member of the WordPress Tampa Bay Network, which is a loosely affiliated group of meetups that meet across Tampa Bay, and we coordinate and push all of our calendars to the same location, so that it makes it easier for folks in Tampa Bay to find out where a meetup might be. At present, we are St. Petersburg, Tampa, Brandon, Valrico, and Newport Richey. And hopefully some of those groups will start meeting again on a regular basis. All right, our upcoming meetups and events. Next week on December 14th is the State of the Word 2021 broadcast. It's a live broadcast from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's basically Matt Mullenweg, what is he now? The CEO of Automatic, who is the primary behind WordPress.org and owner of WordPress.com. And he will be speaking to us and letting us know the direction of the WordPress world for the next year, or basically where he wants it to go. I have linked on the page the link to the announcement post, because there still isn't a live stream link that I could find yet. It should be posted before the end of the week, and if it is, hopefully it'll be before the end of the week. I will push out a meetup notice and just basically put that out on our meetup calendar so that you guys have one place to go to look for that. Daniel Shootsmith of our Newport Richey lead organizer, he had mentioned that he wanted to do a watch party. If he has a place to do one, obviously we'll get that notice out there. I just think it's kind of short notice to try to do that. We could do a virtual watch party, but to be honest, I'm going to be driving. That's a Wednesday, I think. Is that a Wednesday? Next Wednesday? Or is it next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Okay, then, yeah, I could. We'll see. If you guys want to get online and chat about it, that's fine. But honestly, yeah, no. 5 to 7, that's when I eat my dinner. Anyway. So, our next meetup after that would be January 4th. But we are taking a holiday break, a well-deserved holiday break, because we haven't had one in a while. And that's all four of us going to just take a break and not do anything the month of January. Just going to enjoy January being January. So, there. Our next meetup after that will be February 8th. I've got us down as an Ask Us Anything right now, but that may change to our State of the Tampa, or State of the WordPress Tampa Bay thing, where we basically talk about what we did last year. We didn't do a lot last year, but a bunch of Ask Us Anythings, but we did have a couple of fairly good meetups in there. So we may have that conversation. We do have a pending application in for a talk as well, and I will be scheduling that as soon as I hear back from the fellow that has put in that order, and we'll go from there. It's our new, I believe he's one of the organizers that's wanting to restart Sarasota, so it should be a pretty good talk. When we schedule that, it'll be on the calendar. Okay, we are looking for speakers. If you are interested in speaking, you have a topic about WordPress you want to talk about, web design, front end or back end, you want to do a plugin review, you want to talk about your plugin, you want to talk about your theme, you want to talk about theme development, you want to talk about any themes you like, you want to talk about how to use Gutenberg. Any of that stuff is great. We'd love to hear it. If you've never spoken in public before, no problem. You are typically right now, you're going to be on a live stream, and you may only have like one or two of us sitting on the call with you, helping you out and facilitating in whatever way possible.
Could you say that again?
I'm not talking to you, Siri. I don't know. I think I said seriously, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I guess that's why it picked up. But anyway, if you've never spoken in public before, no problem. You'll have us on the call with you, and we'll help you out. And you may have all of 2 viewers watching you, like we do right now. This is great for your resume, your LinkedIn, and your Twitter. Anytime you do anything. Oh, no, we lost a viewer. We're down to 1. I mentioned them and 1 ran away. Oh, my God. This is pretty sad. Anyway, so it's great for your resume, your LinkedIn, or your Twitter. I'm in a mood today, obviously. Anytime you do anything for WordPress, it's great if you're looking for a job in WordPress, or if you're, trying to get yourself out there in the community. Let's see, where were we? If you want to speak, go to our website. There's a link at the top that says speakers, and right below that is a call for speakers, and you get a form to fill out that will give us all your information, and we'll go from there. Alrighty. Our code of conduct tonight. There are no stupid questions except the one you didn't ask. If you don't ask a question, we can't help you. We got a viewer back. So apparently we did hook them in. We're going to limit discussions of questions to 10 to 15 minutes each. Any more than that, you should be hiring a consultant anyway. And tonight, everyone gets to speak, but no crosstalk, please. Especially with live streams, mic issues, etc. If too many people are talking at once, all of the conversation just becomes a muddled mess. Our DialIn Etiquette. We're using StreamYard for these live streams, and an invite link is posted on Facebook and our YouTube chat. When you click that link, you'll be provided guest instructions that basically walk you through how to configure your microphone and your video camera and test it before you join the call. Once you join the call, you'll be dropped into a green room, which is kind of like a little waiting room, and we'll let you in. You should be able to hear us, but we will not be able to hear you at that point. Please make sure before you join the call that that if you are watching the stream through Facebook or YouTube, that if you have those 2 windows open, that you have muted the audio in those 2 windows, or just close those windows, because you can watch it from inside the chat as well. Okay? All right. Questions. Ask us anything. So we have 2 questions right now from our Meetup group. I could not get into Meetup, apparently because there's something wrong with the Amazon Web Services, which is such a shame. Such a sad world that Amazon Web Services isn't working.
So how do you know the questions then?
Because the wonderful Travis Lopes posted questions for me in a chat, so I could find them.
I was signed in to Meetup, so I was still able to pull the page.
There you go. Yeah, so from our Josh Laurent asked, how to obtain more clients and how do you charge for web development? This is a good one. As far as obtaining more clients, we're going to hold that part of the question till later. But as far as how do you figure out how much to charge for web development, there's a wonderful talk I did, and I'm going to highly promote myself for this one because it is a wonderful talk. It's a lovely talk. It was a talk called How to Calculate Your Burn Rate. Burn rate. Let me find it. It's on our website. It's also on my website. The name of the talk is actually Speaking Client, Ethical Pricing, Burn Rates, and Workshop. Burn rates and calculating your day rate. I'm going to share this real quick on the screen. Give me a second. Go back over here. Stop this share. Add. Stops. What did I do? Share. Share screen. Window. Chrome tab. Here we go. All right. Can you guys see that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, this talk, it's about, I think, 15 minutes, if that. It may not even be that long. But basically what it does is, a burn rate is how much you need to survive. That's how much money you have to be pulling in as a self-employed individual to survive in the and pay your bills, all that kind of stuff. And this is exactly what it talks about. It talks about how to figure out how to first identify what your monthly budget is and your yearly budget is. Also, making sure that you give yourself money for insurance, for education, for travel, for vacation, the whole bit. It also asks you to calculate, how many days you really want to work a week and all that whole thing. And with that, it allows you to come up with what's your minimum, and then also what kind of a markup you need to provide to come up to the value. You will find, a lot of people will just say, "Well, I'm not gonna pay more than $300 for a website." No, that's not how it works. You're being charged as a professional, and you have to sit there and think along the lines of asking the client first off what is their budget, and of course the client's going to ask, well, I don't have that much of a budget for this. I said, well, how much would you be paying to have a person who works 24/7, 365, handling your pre-sales questions for you, so that you can focus on the primary parts of your business, or handling your intake forms, or anything, or whatever the thing is that your web is doing for them. And that's where they have to really come up with their budget. So your budget needs to be what you need to survive, and preferably thrive, not just survive, but thrive. So that's what the ethical pricing pretty much talks about. And it's a great talk. Elaine, isn't it a great talk?
It is.
Thank you. I did it twice that day because one person had come in and Elaine and I did it, and then that person left, and then someone walked in at the very last minute, so I just did it again. And it's one of my favorite talks.
You did it live.
Yeah, I did it live. And then I recorded this when I got home that day. And I love it. It's a really clean and efficient way to figure this all out, so that you can get the big number out of your head first, so that you can then really start marketing based on what the kind of products are that you're wanting to put out there. And as far as getting clients, go ahead, Travis. Yeah.
If you find yourself having to pass up too many clients coming to you, like you have too much work coming your way, you're not charging enough. You need to be charging more.
That's pretty true. Also, if you find yourself, because you also got to sit there and think along the lines of, you've got to figure out maintenance plans. Are you going to maintain these people as clients? Or are you just going to build a site and then leave them? Are you going to train them? All that kind of stuff. And I know that for me, when I jumped back into web design, I was charging way too little. And when I realized I had a monkey on my back, that was not my monkey. It was actually my client's monkey. I stepped away from her circus, and I was actually much happier. And then I started charging an appropriate amount for the work I did, and I was actually able to thrive and survive. So that's kind of how you got to look at it. As far as getting clients, though, that's a hard one. We do have, as part of WordPress St. Petersburg and WordPress Tampa Bay, our Facebook group. We have the ability to promote you as an agency or a web developer or whatever kind of business you have. You can put your shingle out through there. We had talked about creating a interface to do that on our website as well, but obviously with the pandemic, we all just have been just doing what we can do to get by. And we may pick that up again next year and discuss that. But there are lots of, I know from Elaine and Jen will both say that your best bet is to network within the professional space that you'll be getting clients from. Because I know, Elaine, you're involved with quite a few networking groups in Tampa, correct?
Well, really only one.
Okay.
It's every week. But
yeah, you were in. Well, that's a lot for every week, though.
Yeah.
Do you get any work from it, though? Still.
Yeah.
Okay. Women being a part of Women Who Code, being a part of Tampa Tech for Good. There's a lot of different ways to get work.
Women Who Code, but
yeah.
I haven't gotten. We haven't met that much lately. I think.
Yeah, that's the problem with the pandemic. It's kind of put the kibosh on networking. So, it'll come back. But hopefully that answered your question, Josh, if you're out there. I don't see anybody in our chat, so I don't see. Okay. So our next question is from Dana. Hang on a second. Let me copy this. We used to have 3 viewers now. We've added 1 whole extra viewer, people. Woo! Okay.
Going
So,
viral.
I know, we're going viral just like that. Dana asks, and I should really put a space in it. Dana Dana asks, do best practices exist for taking over the work from another developer? I'm going to be making changes to a site using GeneratePress if possible. I haven't seen the site yet. There's 2 big things in the WordPress world. Let me do it from a tech perspective first, from having worked in several companies where I established procedures and process flows and then left and went someplace else. Don't leave a mess for the next person. Document the work you do. Document it well. If you can. Obviously, if you're coding, follow WordPress best practices for PHP coding and documentation, etc. I can't speak to that. Travis can speak to that more. From a themer developer side, if you're going to be doing something that's custom, definitely make sure you document it really well. If you're
doing it right, your code is self-documenting.
That too, yeah. But also, if you're taking over a site, don't do anything. God, this is a hard one because I've taken over so many different sites like this.
It depends on the scenario.
Yeah. I was going to say, don't do anything you'd be embarrassed for someone to walk in behind you and look at. But that's not I guess that's not a good sign. But be kind to yourself coming back to the project in a year from now. Because if you could not document or make notes or do something that you would not be able to pick up again a year from now with not having seen the site in a year, then you're doing something wrong. Does that sound like a better advice on that one, maybe, yeah. Jen? Than something you'd be embarrassed by. But yeah, there are. Let me find that link for that one real quick. Let me stop this one. Stop my share.
That question is more targeted to the person that is building the site rather than the person that's taking it over.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it's all dependent upon that other person. I mean, like, are they actually available? I'm not quite sure what they're asking. Like, if that previous developer is available, and I mean, you want to get in and just, see what they're willing to share with you and what their challenges were, and just have a discussion with them about, what was the goal, what was important, why. When clients have had a site long enough, there's always something functioned oddly because it was set up for some very, very super niche reason. You always find that with sites, and you want to know, like, well, why was that set up that way? And if you understand why it was set up that way going forward, you know how to address issues with whatever that little thing is, or how to improve that little thing, kind of what to do going forward. If that person's not available, it's a matter then of working with the client and trying to get information from them as to what actually is important, what's changed, since the last site design. Like, are the business goals the same? Excuse me, is the business operating the same way? To make sure that the website is still addressing the needs of the business. So it's just kind of a revamp and reestablishing those goals and making sure that everything is meeting those goals. I mean, that's just the way that I would approach it. And I think sometimes you do have those difficult situations where the client is, oh, well, this is outdated, and it's like, well, yeah, it's outdated because they built that website 10 years ago. 10 years ago, this is a great website. But it's not the developer's fault. It's not been updated.
Let's move on.
So, let's talk about, like, what do you want now? Like,
August gold is no longer the most fashionable color for your kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also suggest to, on the old site, copy that customizer or CSS style sheet. Copy it.
Yeah.
Save it before
Definitely.
you start hacking it or something.
Yeah. Sorry.
I
I
would
just was
probably
thinking
make a
harvest
copy
gold
of
and
that entire
avocado, and
site.
what's the other color? What was the
Yes.
other color that was so famous, Elaine? Harvest
What?
gold,
Harvest Gold.
avocado.
Avocado is good.
Yeah, what was the other
Maybe
one? Who
some
was it?
browns or,
Yeah, wood paneling.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Those three really hit it. Oh, pink. The bright pink bathrooms. Remember the bright pink bathrooms?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. None of those are any good anymore. Mine that I learned, the biggest one was stay away if you can from. Well, I mean, you're obviously she's going to redoing the site and generate press if possible, but oh god, don't do anything too custom that's going to require you to, like, if you're putting something in place and you're going to have to get 80% custom, something's wrong. Let's just put it that way. Um, you want to make sure that what you're doing is as standard as possible to WordPress, and you really want to focus more on consistency and content versus what the client may be asking you for, as far as, oh, I want flashy letters, and I want a slider, and I want this, and I want that, and I want this to change like hundreds and hundreds of times. You want to look at the content first, and you want to look at what you're presenting, and you want to look at how consistently can I present that content, because remember too, a lot of people are actually reading or absorbing all of that content off a phone now. Some may be doing it off a watch, but probably a phone. And that kind of absorption of content means something completely different when you've got a big website where you've got pop-ups coming all over the place, and you go to a phone, and all of a sudden your pop-ups obliterate your entire screen to the point where you can't see anything. So really, 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 really think about that, of how your content's going to be digested and absorbed and used.
And also, like we were talking about last month, have the client buy that theme, generate press.
Yeah.
And that way, if they need to update it, they can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely don't put any of the plugins on your card. Make sure that the customer is paying for those. A lot of people will put it on their licensee or their agency fee so that they can make sure they maintain the client. That's a really bad way to maintain a client, by holding their stuff hostage. You really do want to. I always treated my stuff was like, this is your red letter envelope in case I get hit by a bus or I win the lottery. And it was always here are the keys to the kingdom. Here's your admin logins, all of your everything else. This is your red letter envelope in case there's a zombie invasion. Rip this only in the case of emergency, but it'll make sure that the customer always has everything they need to take over the site or hand the site over to another developer. You don't want to basically hold a customer hostage so that they can't do their work. Unless, of course, they haven't paid you. But if they haven't paid you, remember, the site never goes physically on their server until they pay you. It stays on your staging server until they pay you. And they can't have access to it until they pay you. So, and then the other part is, if you're waiting on them for content, you've done the design, you've got dummy content or whatever, and they're still they're still waiting on you to push their content in before they finish off the site. Have an expiration date in your contracts. Make sure that no matter what, if the customer has already paid the balance, they're paid. But whether they have finished the site, whether finished the project or not, if it's always on their side of the contract where you're now waiting for them to do something, that should always be a point where you get money. Whenever you hand something over to the client, you should get money. And if you're waiting on them to do something else, we lost Travis. I had a feeling we might. If you're waiting on them to do something, like you've given them the next piece, the next part of the goalpost is for them to do, they should give you money, and they should have an expiration date for their next piece. And if they don't do the expiration, if they don't get that next piece to you by the expiration date, the contract's done. Start over again. I've had at least 2 or 3 projects where I have done the estimation work, the project planning, brought out the entire plan, did the whole bit, got my deposit, and the next piece was for them to give me, obviously content, pictures, this, that, the other thing. And I never got that piece from the client. Or maybe I was at the stage where I've turned over the design and we're waiting to actually go live for the rest of their content. But it's another stage of the project. I got money. I'm still waiting on them. I gave them a deadline for the next piece. I communicate with them in advance of that time frame. They don't hit that time frame. They get nothing. The contract ends because that's the point of that someone not realizing that you're serious about the work you're doing, and that needs to be the way it works. You've given them what they have paid for, but they don't have this endless lifeline attached to you. So either. So contracts are huge. Contracts are a big thing. We did a talk on contracts, but I don't think I've ever published it, and I need to. It's in the can somewhere. It's one of those that needs to be edited and pushed up because we had a lot of echoes that day in the thing. But contracts are an interesting, fascinating discussion. So, but I think we answered Dana's question. I hope. Maybe we'll get Travis back on. That was it on our questions. We have 3 people in the talk, and no one has said anything in comments.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a very quick call tonight, 7 o'clock. I hope everybody's having a happy holiday. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. Or, if you didn't, well, everybody here celebrates Thanksgiving. Oh, no. Weird. My phone started playing music, and I had to stop it. Anyway, we're probably going to do a talk on Gutenberg at some point in time next year. I'll put another thing out there again to see if anyone has any particular questions they want, but I'm trying to do a focus talk on Ask Us Anything that's specifically on Gutenberg because it's coming. Elaine reminded us today that back when they first discussed that they were going to have a shelf life for the classic editor, the original shelf life date was December 31st, 2021, and we were freaking out for a minute there, and then saw the date on that post was from 2018. So Jen, we found it, and they've extended support to at least through 2022. So it's not going away anytime immediately, but you can see the writing on the wall that WordPress is very much pushing towards full screen editing, Gutenberg being their primary vehicle of support there. So we're going to have to get on board at some point in time. Ann Barca asked a wonderful questions. Here we go. Thank you, Ann. She had a question. I've inherited a site from a previous employee, and there are lots of photos, etc., in the media library. Is there a way to figure out? Yeah, there actually is. In most cases, when you're in the media library, I'll pull up our site and show you that one. Give me just a second. Let me share our Tampa Bay website again. Chrome tab. There we go. That one. Share. Am I logged in? Yes. No, I'm not logged in. Let me log in. That would be helpful. I could have at least shown you a site that I was logged into. Shame on me. What was I thinking? I use one password for my password management, so please don't be capturing anything. Not that you're going to see anything anyway, but no, my email address, don't look at it. Just kidding. All right. When you're in the media library, and don't look at the fact that we have 10 updates to do. I haven't had a chance to look at this for a while. Give me a break. When you go in the media library, and you'll see that all this stuff is like little image thumbnails right now. If you go to a list view, by default, the linked page or the attached page is listed under uploaded to. So like if you've got an image that is being used as the featured image for a page, it will more than likely be attached to a particular post. And that's your easiest way to determine if something is not attached to something. I believe there's also a cleanup media library to plug in. Well, there's an article at WP Engine on how to clean up your WordPress media library. But Media Cleaner is a clean and optimized space. It was last updated 3 weeks ago. Obviously, make sure that you have a backup before you use it. Can you see the screen? Yeah, I think I'm just sharing that tab, right? No, I'm
No,
not.
we just see
Oh, hang
the
on.
media library.
Give me a second. Um, yeah. All of a sudden, my NPR decided to go off. There is a scheduled automation in my HomeKit that just decides it wants to keep showing. So I have no idea why it's doing that. So let me share the other screen. Give me a second. Chrome tab. Here you go. Media cleaner. Clean and optimize space. Make a backup first. It will detect any files not being listed in a specific dashboard. It'll be able to delete them. And then we move to the internal trash on the plugin after we, it's pretty, I've used something like this before, pretty close to this. This one has a cute little cat and a frog. So, there you go. But make a backup first. Or do it on a backup of the site first and see what happens. But typically that's the best way to figure out on those. Okay. Hopefully that answered your question, Ann. So let us know. I'm sure. Okay. We're up to 3 whole viewers. I wish we could see who they were. Oh, I know what's happening is every time I lift my wrist up like this, it thinks I want to talk to Siri. I need to get rid of that
Take the
particular.
thing off.
Yeah, I need to turn that particular gesture off of my phone because I always hit the crown when I want to talk to Siri. I never just do it by. But maybe if I've fallen and I can't get up, I, I need somebody to pick that up. Oh, we've got a Facebook user saying, I'm here. Well, hello here, whoever I am. Are you on Facebook, Elaine? You can probably tell.
Let me refresh.
Yeah, if you don't allow StreamYard to authorization to read who you are, StreamYard can't put your name on the. Oh, Andy. Okay. Hey, Andy. Facebook can't put your name on the comments that you add. So we're at 3. We'll give it another, maybe like 15 minutes. We'll give everybody 15 minutes. If you have a question, pop it in the next 15 minutes. If you don't, we're going to end for the year and wish everyone a happy holiday. So, excuse me, goodness. The oaks here are dropping massive amounts of everything right now. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. Like I've got 2 oaks nearby me, and they're dropping the little branches that have the seeds on them. Those are just like falling off. We also have like an entire squirrel carnival that meets in my backyard every day and jumps from tree to tree to tree down the fence and everything. It's fascinating. Yeah, I think they're kind of call
Jim's house. Yeah.
The flying Walendas. So or something like that. What would it be? Squirrels? They wouldn't be Walendas. What would they be? The flying chipmunks.
There are flying squirrels. We had to watch
That's true. There are, but these are like just regular squirrels that are doing the actions of flying squirrels. So fascinating. I love watching them run all the way up and down the side of the fence, like the front face of it. And you're going, what are they hanging on to? They're just like, Uno completely ignores them, which is typical. So I don't think we're getting any more questions. Oh,
I don't think so either.
I don't either. So let's go ahead and plan on shutting it down. So again, we'll not see you next month because we are taking a break for January.
Jen? Are those new?
They are. I don't think I've had
They're
them
pretty.
on.
Yeah, they're blue, aren't
I
they?
think
But they look bluish.
they are blue. Yeah, they're blue.
Are they totally clear but blue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So they're like
They're just
these.
it's just like reading / computer glasses from
they're like these. These are
Amazon.
totally clear.
Where'd you get them
no
from?
color.
Amazon. They're just like computer glasses. The
Okay.
blue light
okay.
filter.
Blue light specials from
Blue
Amazon.
light filter. so I don't blind myself
Always a good thing. Yeah, these have got a
staring at my
blue
screen all day.
filter as well. So, yeah, mine are Warby Parker because they've got progressive in them. So, but yours look pretty. I like them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have my contact in too, so
Okay. Oh, because they're readers. I mean, they're screens, but they don't have any. They don't have anything in them. Yeah, I get you.
they have like
yeah.
it's like a 0.5 reader on top of my contacts,
Ooh, nice.
just to
The
make it a
screen
little
is
more
really
comfy to read.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little
I've
sharp.
often thought about that myself, that I wouldn't mind having like a much higher magnification when I'm looking at the computer screens. So I'm considering
It's
it.
pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm still considering moving my desk around again. So because I'm this direction over here is at some point going to be a doorway out to the backyard, and it'll be open and stuff like that. So I'm actually thinking about moving my desk around here instead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then having the cube behind me, but with a lot more room in between us. But then I'd be taking over
having
Uno's
two
space.
workspaces or something?
No, it would still just be the one desk, because my desk is more than enough room for me to work from. The goal would basically be to change it so I've got two different places. Like right now, if I want to look out the window, I've got the two behind me, but I tend to keep them like down because they get a lot of sun through there. And then I've got these over here. I don't get as much sun, but I get like afternoon sun. This gets morning, that gets afternoon. And it'd be kind of nice to have two sets of view, I guess, would kind of what it come down to. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, I could watch Uno when he's in the backyard once I have the door there. So, because that's what he likes to do. Because he sits in the little. You can't see the bed, or can you see the bed? No, my name is covering it up. Anyway, we got off on a tangent there. So anyway, we will not see you next month. Next month we're off. I will fix the Meetup calendars as soon as I can get into Meetup and do that. Meetup has not been letting me log in today. Hopefully they'll fix that by tomorrow. I will be posting the WordCamp live stream details as soon as I've got them. So if you guys do want to join it from the Meetup page, you can. But I'll also make sure that the link to the actual announcement post is on that Meetup so that you also have that as well. And will we see you guys in February on the 7th, or the 8th rather, my bad. Hey, for once it won't be my birthday this time, it'll actually be the week after. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. I don't like having them always on my birthday. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, we have had a wonderful year with you guys. You've been a wonderful Meetup team this entire year. Thank you so much, Jen and Elaine and Travis, who hopefully will come back at some point. I was hoping we were going to get more of our folks, that Michelle and Daniel Shoot-Smith, maybe Joe, and the folks would join in as well, and Steve. But it happens. I have loved working with you guys this year. I'm still part of WordPress St. Petersburg. I'm not changing any point soon. I am in Lakeland now, but we will see what happens as far as adding Lakeland to our calendar. But we'll make that decision next year. No rush.
Do they have a group over there?
They do, but they're not meeting in person, and they haven't met in over a year either. So their Meetup group is also in danger of being shut down.
They just stopped.
Yeah. So their Meetup group is also in danger of being shut down. Any Meetup group that hasn't met in over a year, typically what they do is they WordPress, since they own the Meetup group itself, reaches out to the members and asks them who would like to take over, or if anyone would like to take over. They give about a month or two, maybe a couple months, and then they shut it down. So
I see.
And that's what happened with Sarasota, and why Sarasota is getting about ready to be taken over by someone else. So anyway, but we will see you guys. Excuse me. Remember, cannot talk today. Really bad. Remember to visit our website if you want to know about anything we're doing, where all of our meetups are, etc. It is wptampabay.org. And make sure that you also like and subscribe to us on YouTube. It helps that wonderful YouTube search algorithm that lets us show up in all of these wonderful things. At some point, we may even become a gold viewer. I don't know. We haven't gotten anything yet, but we have pretty good metrics on our YouTube, though. Most of our videos have been watched for at least 30 minutes of the video length. So that's a good sign. Anyway, so tonight, let's wrap it up with our little end video that I normally do. Where did it go? As soon as I find it. I really should have these things handier, shouldn't I? All right. We'll see you guys in 2 months. Thank you for watching a recorded session from WordPress St. Petersburg Meetup. We meet once a month on the first Tuesday of the month, live streaming online through our YouTube channel and Facebook group. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when new videos are added. Find out more about WordPress St. Petersburg at our website at wptampabay.org.